Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is all about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship advice channel. Alright, so we're going to get into this viewer's request. And this was something that I've been wanting to report on for a minute. And I just haven't got to it. But thank you, Katie. Your name is Katie. Thank you for this request and also for the blessing to the channel. Alright, so we're going to get into this topic. 6-year-old who shot teacher will not be charged, prosecutor says. Alright, so this teacher here at Ricknick, I'll read the article to you. School, wait a minute, it says right here. Yeah, Rich Nick Elementary School, right? So she's a teacher there and she got shot by a 6-year-old. Really, something else. Alright, so I'm going to play a video. And then after this video, I'm going to read an article. So what you do is, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the like button, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and also share the video out on your social media. And feel free to check out some of my past commentary. And if you need to get a hold of me, look in the description so you can find my email address if you need, in coaching, dating, love, relationships, or you have a viewer's request, and we can go from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. Make sure you hit the like. Let's get it.
This Wednesday night, the teacher who was shot by her 6-year-old student tonight arguing the school was warned 3 times on that very day that the boy could have a gun and that he was making threats. Her lawyer tonight now revealing a chilling timeline here, also revealing the teacher still has that bullet lodged in her chest. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, tonight.
2 weeks after she was shot by her 6-year-old student in an attack that stunned the nation, teacher Abby Zawerner is breaking her silence. Her attorney accusing the school of failing to stop the violence despite multiple warnings the boy was dangerous.
3 times, school administration was warned by concerned teachers and employees that the boy had a gun on him at the school, but the administration could not be bothered.
That lawyer laying out a string of red flags that day, saying it was Zawerner who first reported that the boy had threatened to beat up another child.
They didn't call security. They didn't remove the student from the classroom.
After getting a tip about a gun, another teacher searched the boy's backpack an hour later, but found nothing. When that same teacher warned the gun could be in a pocket, a school official allegedly dismissed the threat.
The administrator downplayed the report from the teacher and the possibility of a gun, saying, and I quote, "Well, he has little pockets."
A half hour later, Zawerner's lawyer claims a third teacher reported a student who was crying because the 6-year-old had threatened him with the gun during recess. But again, no action.
Did administrators call the police? No. Did administrators lock down the school? No.
Finally, Zawerner claims another concerned staffer asked to pat down and search the boy, but was denied, told to wait the situation out because the school day was almost over. Minutes later, police say the boy opened fire with the gun he brought from his home. Mark Garcia's 8-year-old son was down the hall and ran for cover. Garcia says parents in the school have long voiced concerns about security.
These are red flags that we raised as parents before, and now we're actually hearing it and understanding that these red flags are actually real.
The parents of the 6-year-old suspect say he suffers from an acute disability and claim the shooting occurred during the first week he attended class without a parent. But tonight, Abby Zawerner remains at home healing. We learned today that bullet is still lodged in her chest.
The road to full recovery will be long. The psychological wounds cut deeply and remain fresh.
And Pierre Thomas with us here tonight. Pierre, we heard from parents worried about school security. We saw them line up to speak at the district's school board meeting. And tonight, I know there's another urgent meeting about the leadership of the school district.
David, tonight there's been an emergency meeting to decide the fate of the superintendent. We've just learned he's been fired. As for the teacher, she's planning to sue the school district. David?
All right, Pierre Thomas with us from Washington. Thank you, Pierre.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read an article, and then I have another clip I'm going to show you too. But let me read this article. Let's get a little bit more into this one here. All right, this article that I have right here is from the New York Times. And this came out, when did it come out? March 9th, 2023. Now, this incident happened in January, but let's get into this article. 6-year-old who shot teacher will not be charged, prosecutor says. The boy shot and injured his first grade teacher at an elementary school in Newport News, Virginia in January. The 6-year-old who shot and injured the first grade teacher at an elementary school in Virginia in January will not be charged, but the prosecutor says that he was still deciding whether others could face criminal charges. You know, this is really sad. This is a really sad event that happened. All right, let me get more into it. Where we at? The boy shot the 25-year-old teacher once with a handgun in the classroom at Rich Nick Elementary School in Newport News at about 2 p.m. on January 6th, leaving her with life-threatening injuries and renewing calls for restrictions to keep guns out of the hands of young people. The Commonwealth Attorney Howard E. Gwynn told NBC News on Wednesday that a child that young would not understand the legal system. Got a point. That does have a point. Okay, resume reading. The prospect that a 6-year-old can stand trial is problematic, he says. He did not respond to repeated calls and an email requesting comments on Thursday. In a statement released by the Newport News Police Department on Thursday, Mr. Gwynn said he had received the results of an investigation several weeks ago, including 3 binders and hours of police body cam footage. In spite of the national attention that this incomprehensible act has brought to our city, our objective is the same as it has always been: to be thorough, to be objective, and to apply the law to the facts fairly and impartially, he says. And after that analysis is done, our objective is to charge any person with any crimes that we believe can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. The shooting in Newport News, a city of more than 180 people, about 70 miles southeast of Richmond, Virginia, stunned officials and the communities, drawing significant attention because of the child's age, the school response, and the boy's access to a gun. This is something else. A 6-year-old, he gets a gun from his home and he comes and shoots the teacher. Yeah, it doesn't add up. All right, let's get back to where am I at? The teacher, Abigail Zerner, I can't pronounce it. Just check the description so you get to pronounce it. I don't want to butcher up her name. Was in the middle of a routine lesson in her first grade class when the police said that the boy pulled out a gun, aimed it at her, and fired. A single bullet passed through her hand and struck her chest. She almost could have died. Resume reading. In the fallout from the shooting, Diane Toscano, a lawyer of Ms. Abigail, the teacher, said that in January that there has been series of escalating warnings that the child had a gun, raising questions about the school's response. A call to Ms. Toscano, I hope I pronounced it right, office on Thursday was referred to the public relations office, which did not respond. Days after the shooting, a spokeswoman for the Newport News Public School District, Michelle Price, confirmed that the staff member had searched the child's backpack before the shooting took place after it was reported that the student may have a weapon. No weapon was found. Almost done, ladies and gentlemen. On January 25th, the school board voted to terminate the contract of the district superintendent, George Parker III. In the first police account of the shooting days after it occurred, Steve Drew, the chief of the Newport News Police Department, said that the shooting was intentional and that any potential charges would be based on what the facts are and what the law supports. The department says that the boy had retrieved the weapon, a 9mm Taurus handgun that had been legally purchased by his mother from home, put into his backpack, and brought it to school. And it was loaded. So how was he able to get that? Aren't the guns supposed to be locked up? Well, let's keep going. We almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Virginia law prohibits leaving a loaded gun where it is accessible to children under 14. The crime is punishable as a misdemeanor. The K-12 school shooting database, which started compiling data of school shootings after the mass shooting at a Major Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida in 2018, has found at least 16 cases involving shooters under the age of 10, 3 of them involving 6-year-old children and 1 a 5-year-old. God, dog, this is something else. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do have another clip here. Now, this clip I'm going to show you. Give me a second here. What I'm going to show you. It's a press conference I'm going to show you. Now, this press conference I'm going to show you is basically the teacher's lawyer, because she's going to sue, and she has all rights to sue. She does. She has all rights. She has all rights to do. Look at her. She's just a doll. So pretty. She's probably a bubbly, nice teacher. And this little boy come in here with the gun. And my thing is, these parents, they should be at fault. But we'll see. Let's just hear what the press conference have to say. And we'll go from there.
Donna.
Hold just a second. Let me change it. Alrighty. Okay. Go ahead, Jack. And my co-host is Jack. Go ahead, Jack.
Okay. That teacher is going to get paid. They're going to have to settle.
Oh yes, the teacher is.
They're not going to take it to trial. They'll be a fool to do that.
I agree.
Yeah, they're just going to have to settle.
Well,
They're going to have to pay.
Let's watch this clip here. And all right, we're gonna watch this clip. But you're right, he's gonna get paid, and she should be. Well, I'll share my thoughts at the end. But let's just watch with the press conference, and this one here is with the lawyer, her lawyer. Let's see what the lawyer has to say, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and if you didn't hit that like, make sure you hit it now. All right, let's get it.
At 11:03 this morning, we are coming on the air with breaking news. The attorney for the first grade teacher shot by her student in Newport News is set to hold a news conference any minute now. We're told it's about 60 seconds away. We are going to learn more information about Abby Zwerner's condition. That, of course, is the first grade teacher at Ridge Neck Elementary School who was shot about 3 weeks ago by that first grade student. At this news conference, we expect to hear from the attorney, Diane Toscano, to talk about the shooting, to talk about Zwerner's condition, to talk about next steps from here. Of course, no charges have been filed in this case. It won't be up to this attorney to file any charges, but perhaps we will get some perspective from where the Zwerner family stands on this investigation. Now, these remarks come less than a week after Riverside Health System confirmed that Zwerner was released from the hospital. So that teacher, of course, still has a long recovery process ahead of her, but she is out of the hospital and continuing her recovery as an outpatient at home. This, of course, is a shooting that has gathered attention not just here in Hampton Roads, but nationwide and, in fact, worldwide because of the shocking value behind it. A 6-year-old who brought a gun to school, not only bringing a gun to school, getting it past any kind of inspection. We learned in the recent weeks that there was, in fact, an inspection of the child's backpack of which no gun was found. It is a shocking story. In fact, we expect to learn more right now. Here's the attorney.
And I'm with Toscano Law Group, the founder. I represent Abby Zwerner. I'm going to make a statement and I will not be taking any questions. First, just a little bit about my law firm for those who don't know about us. We are based in Virginia Beach and focus on state and federal criminal defense and civil litigation. I'm a former prosecutor turned defense attorney, and I've been litigating cases in this community for more than 15 years. Abby Zwerner is the best of us, an optimistic, dedicated, and caring elementary school teacher who endured the unthinkable, being shot purposely by a 6-year-old student in front of her first grade class while teaching. I have been with Abby twice since she left the hospital, and I communicate with her daily. I can report to you that she's home recovering and gaining strength every day.
Have to add, imagine the trauma that the kids felt that was in the classroom to see their teacher getting shot. This is insane. Okay, resume.
We are grateful for the outpouring of support that Abby has received from teachers, students, and parents in this community and across the country. But the road to full recovery will be long, and as her physical condition improves, the psychological wounds cut deeply and remain fresh, and the psychological scars will be lasting. I admire Abby's courage and her unwavering care for her students, their education, and their health and welfare. And we want to thank all the teachers in Newport News who sacrifice each day and strive to provide a safe and healthy educational environment to their students. We especially want to thank Abby's fellow teachers at Rich Neck Elementary, who unfortunately are living this nightmare along with her. These teachers are selfless. One teacher even went into the classroom after Abby was shot and restrained the shooter until police arrived. See, Abby and these other teachers at Rich Neck Elementary School tried to do the right thing on January 6th, the day of the shooting. On that day, over the course of a few hours, 3 different times, school administration was warned by concerned teachers and employees that the boy had a gun on him at the school and was threatening people. But the administration could not be bothered. This tragedy was entirely preventable if the school administrators responsible for school safety had done their part and taken action when they had knowledge of imminent danger. But instead, they failed to act and Abby was shot. When the first incident of the day happened, at around 11:15 to 11:30 a.m., Abby went to a school administrator, as was protocol, to tell them that the 6-year-old had threatened to beat up another child that same day. But the school administration could not be bothered. They didn't call security, they didn't remove the student from the classroom, the school administration failed to act. Later on, around 12:30 p.m., when another teacher went to a school administrator, as was protocol, and told the administrator that she, the teacher, took it upon herself to search the book bag of the boy that was suspected to have brought the gun to school. The teacher then tells that same administrator that she believes the boy put the gun in his pocket before going outside for recess. But the administration could not be bothered. The administrator downplayed the report from the teacher and the possibility of a gun, saying, and I quote, "Well, he has little pockets."
I'm getting angry right now. This all could have been prevented. This should have never happened to this woman. This should have never happened to her. Who's the mama? How did he get a hold of this gun? And the gun was loaded and took it to the school and they didn't take it serious. A child with a gun, you take it serious. All right, let's get back to it. Resume.
This is outrageous. Given the opportunity to call the police over a report of a potentially armed student, the school administrator failed to act and protect the school. Shortly after 1 p.m., when a third teacher tells administrators of another boy who is crying and fearful, that he bravely confesses to his teacher that the perpetrator showed him the gun at recess and threatened to shoot him if he told anybody. What did...
Ladies and gentlemen, you hear this? He shows him the gun and threatens to kill. Do we have another Satan Jr. here? Seemed like a mommy and daddy laid down and had Satan Jr. Yeah, I have to call it is. I know it's 6 years old. But he's not acting like a 6-year-old. This is insane. This could all have been prevented. Let's get back to it.
Did administrators do? Did administrators call the police? No. Did administrators lock down the school? No. Did the administrators evacuate the building? No. Did they confront the student? No. When a fourth employee who heard about the danger asked the administrator for permission to search the boy, he was denied. He was told to wait the situation out because the school day was almost over. Let that sink in. Tragically, almost an hour later, violence struck Rich Neck Elementary School. Abby Zorner was shot in front of those horrified kids, and the school and community are living the nightmare. All because the school administration failed to act. Were they not so paralyzed by apathy, they could have prevented this tragedy. This morning, I sent notice to the Newport News School Board of the intent to file a lawsuit on Abby's behalf. This should have never happened. It was preventable. And thank God Abby is alive. But had the school administrators acted,
recordings just got better.
in the interest of their teachers and their students, Abby would not have sustained a gunshot wound to the chest, a bullet that remains dangerously inside her body. 3 weeks ago, Abby was a cheery young woman with a big heart and loved educating young people. She had a very bright future and a career she loved. Today, she's between surgeries and physical therapy appointments with a career in question. How could anyone find the courage to confidently face a class of students again? I hope the Newport News School District will do the right thing, and everyone should pay close attention to their response, because will they send a message that teachers are expendable, that this is just a hazard of the job if you teach Newport News? Their response will hover over this community and this school district for decades. And since they can't roll back time and undo the callousness of the bureaucracy, they can do the right thing and admit what went wrong and fix it and take care of Abby now. Thank you.
All right, just getting some brand new information from the attorney of Abby Zwerner. That was Diane Toscano, an attorney hired by the Zwerner family, and she just gave us a lot of brand new information. While it could take some time for this case to work its way through criminal court, if it ever gets to that point, again, you're dealing with a 6-year-old shooter here. We just found out it's certainly going to be working its way through civil court. That attorney, on behalf of Zwerner, has just filed a lawsuit, the intent, rather, to file a lawsuit against Newport News Public Schools for what she says is their administration not being bothered on the day of the shooting to do anything to prevent it. She says that this shooting was entirely preventable, and then went on to give 4 instances throughout the day. Let's list those real quick. She says the first incident was at 11:15 in the morning when Abby, the teacher who would later be shot, said the 6-year-old threatened to beat up another child. In the attorney's words, the administration could not be bothered. An hour later at 12:30, she says another teacher told the administration she searched the backpack because she feared there was a gun in that backpack, but could not find it. And then about an hour later, 1 p.m., the third instance, according to this attorney, a third teacher told administration of a boy who was shown that gun during recess by the 6-year-old who would later shoot the teacher, Abby Zwerner. A fourth instance, a fourth employee, according to this attorney, asked for permission to search the boy and was denied because, quote, the school day was almost over. So that's the account by the attorney, Diane Toscano, who was able to piece together some events of the day that her client was later shot by a 6-year-old. And because of those instances she just laid out, she says she intends to file a lawsuit against Newport News Public Schools on behalf of her client, Abby Zwerner. Now, where does that lead us today? I can tell you that the future of leadership at Newport News Public Schools is very much up in the air. We've learned that Superintendent Dr. George Parker could lose his job in just about 6 hours. The school board is calling a special meeting at 6 p.m. tonight, and we've learned the school board will vote whether to approve a separation agreement and a severance package for that superintendent. You know, it's been a rough couple years for Newport News Public Schools. Before Rich Neck, there had also been shootings at Heritage and Minchville High Schools, all within the last 18 months. Superintendent Parker has faced a line of criticism in the wake of those shootings, and tonight, during that meeting, board members could also appoint an interim superintendent if the vote goes through to part ways with Dr. Parker. And of course, now there's discussion of this potential civil lawsuit coming from Zwerner. We will have complete coverage of that meeting tonight, 6 p.m. with the school board, on air, online, and on 13newsnow.com.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of that clip. Jack, you want to share a thought about this? Because this is insane. Do you want to share something?
They're going to get paid. They're going to get paid big money.
You right about that?
Just because they did not file charges doesn't mean the DA can file charges.
Oh.
That's just the city prosecutor. But the DA, district attorney can pick it up if they want to.
This should never happen. She was calling out for help, and, you know, they just basically swept
And it wasn't just her, it was others.
Yeah, others. Kids was being threatened. I don't understand. Why was this like, oh, well, it's the end of the day. Oh, so just go home? Let's forget about it? No, that's not how it
Basically
goes.
what it sounds like. Now, I'm not going to get into it on your broadcast. I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
Because I'm just curious what the superintendent looks like.
That was the superintendent, the guy they just showed. The black
Oh,
guy.
I got my Bluetooth on, so I,
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm walking.
that was the superintendent, and I believe they did let him go. Hmm. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my thoughts about this is this all could have been prevented. It should never happen. Who was the mother? The mother needs to be questioned. Something needs to, because it doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to have a gun. You're supposed to have it locked up. And what they're saying is, if you have a gun, if you have any kids that's under 14, it's not supposed to be loaded. So obviously, the gun was loaded. Unless he's that smart that he loaded the gun himself, we don't know. It's just getting crazier. The younger and younger with these kids. It's like a bunch of little Satan Juniors running around here. It's sad. He's threatening kids. No, but this is a hard one. Can you, tell me your thoughts and opinions? What do you think? I mean, he is 6 years old. I don't know. That's a hard one. Should can
That ain't a hard one. Ain't a hard one for me. Lock him up.
Okay, that's my co-host. All right, ladies and gentlemen, but share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section and let me know what you think. And shout out to Katie. Thank you for bringing to my attention, and because I did want to report this when I wanted to talk about this, because I remember hearing, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And now come to find out, um, nothing is gonna happen. But we know one thing about this pretty lady right here. Oh, she's gonna get paid, and she deserves it. She deserves to get medical bills for the rest of her life. She deserves to be paid for any if she have to go to a therapist because she's gonna need one. And all those kids in the classroom that witness her getting shot, they need to be paid too for therapy too, because this is traumatizing. Those little angels sitting in the classroom. Oh my gosh, it's just too much.
Angels. Well, I was still some of them weren't angels.
No, I'm talking about the angels that seen the shooting, Jack. I'm talking about them.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm talking about them, the angels. The angels that will see you.
yeah,
Hold on. All right,
never
so
mind.
ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for some more of Donna Just Being Real, and feel free to check out my past commentary. And don't forget, hit the like, share the video out, subscribe to my channel if you find value in my commentary. And if you have any viewers requests, feel free to email me. You can find it in the description. And if you need a coaching in dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship, I got you for males and females. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is so sad. Really is so sad. All right. Bye.